Hey guys, today we're ranking every primary weapon in Rivals. So, let's get started. The first primary weapon we're ranking is the Assault Rifle. It's a fast-firing, all-purpose weapon. It shoots bullets. There's not much about it. As you can see, it's pretty easy to kill people with it, but you do need some good tracking to shoot your targets. The Assault Rifle is really good, but it could be better. There's nothing special about it, so I'm putting it in great. The next primary we are ranking is the Burst Rifle. It's sort of like the Assault Rifle, but it shoots in 3-round bursts. It does do a bit more damage, but it fires much slower, and I'm pretty sure it has a slightly slower reload. It got nerfed to this update. The Burst Rifle is fine, but it's less consistent with the Assault Rifle, which makes it harder to kill. Because of this, I'm going to put it in the good tier. This weapon that we are ranking, which is the next one is called the Bow. It's a projectile weapon, which makes it much harder to hit your shots. So I personally don't like this weapon, even though the damage is decent. So I'm going to put it in the bad tier. The next primary weapon we are ranking is the RPG. It's an explosive weapon that shoots out explosive stuff that explode on contact. It does 50 damage if the explosion hits someone, and 100 damage if the bullet directly hits somebody. So it has really high damage. So it is pretty good. But it is hard to hit your shots because the projectile moves slowly. So it's only good on small maps, which holds it back a little. But there's a good thing about the RPG. You can also do some crazy movement with it. Like, let me show you right now. Whoa, that's really fast. Because of all this, I'm putting it in the great tier. The next primary weapon we are ranking is the Gunblade. Now this is a strange one. It starts as a gun, and if you shoot somebody, it turns into a blade. Once you dash towards them, you can swing it around, and once you dash towards them and hit them with the blade, it does 35 damage with the blade, and then it does an automatic headshot with you, and then puts it back into the gun mode. It's a pretty unique weapon. But there is a drawback. Because you have to constantly be going from like from gun to blade, you have to be very close to do consistent damage. Because of this, I'm putting it in the meh tier. The next primary we are ranking is the Crossbow. The Crossbow is sort of like a short-ranged sniper rifle. It can do short range and long range because it's pretty easy to shoot without scoping in. It does do a decent amount of damage, but it has a very long cooldown, and it's extremely hard to hit your shots without auto shoot. Don't use auto shoot. So I'm putting it in the decent tier. The next primary we are ranking is the Sniper. Just like the Crossbow, it's a long-range weapon. But it can't do short range because if you try to shoot without scoping in, it just becomes really inaccurate and hard to hit. The Sniper is a pretty good weapon. I mean, it does 150 damage to the head. That's OP. It's just the thing with the Crossbow again. It's really, really, really hard to hit your shots without auto shoot. And please do not use auto shoot, but that makes it a pretty kind of good weapon, so I'm putting it in the good tier. The next primary weapon we are ranking is the Shotgun. The Shotgun is incredibly OP. It got buffed this update, which was totally not necessary. It already did enough damage, and now it does like 120 damage max. That's insane! It isn't good on a map like Shooting Range, which is what we are on right now, but you get what I mean. It's a close range, really good weapon. So this weapon is going to be the first amazing tier. The next primary weapon we are ranking is the first of the pay-to-win ones. This is the paintball gun. It's basically a higher DPS assault rifle. It does a lot more damage in exchange for a slightly slower cooldown. There's also an ability where you can throw a paint bomb and cover the person's screen, but it's not that good, so I don't use it. It's also pretty hard to hit. The paintball gun doesn't have a scope, so it might be pretty hard to hit your shots, but still, it's really, really good. So I'm ranking it in the amazing tier. The next primary weapon we're ranking is the minigun. It's another pay-to-win weapon, but it kind of sucks. The minigun has extremely high DPS. I'm pretty sure a bit higher than the paintball gun, and it's easier to hit your shots, but it turns you into a sentry turret. It makes you very slow, and recently in the update, they made it so if you're moving with it, your projectiles are less accurate. So it's either be a turret or your minigun sucks. So, yeah, that stinks. So I'm putting it in the meh tier. Next primary weapon we are ranking is the grenade launcher. It's another pay-to-win weapon, and it's like an RPG, but higher DPS. It shoots faster, but at the expense of slightly less damage. Much faster. And it has 6 bullets in the tank. It doesn't have as good movement because it doesn't like launch you as far per grenade launcher, but it's easier to like hop around the walls and stuff and whatnot. The grenade launcher is really good, so I'm putting it in the amazing tier. The next primary weapon we're ranking is the flamethrower, another pay-to-win weapon. The flamethrower shoots out a bit of fire in front of it, or in the case for my skin, extinguisher, that burns players. And it does a lot of damage, but you do have to get right up and close to them. But it's not that big of an issue on small maps, so I'm putting it in amazing tier. The energy rifle is the next primary weapon we're ranking. It's another pay-to-win weapon that it's kind of boring. It's just like the assault rifle, but the laser beam bounces around. It shoots slightly slower than the assault rifle, but it does slightly more damage. Pretty boring and pretty mid. So it's going in the decent tier. The next primary we're ranking is the permafrost, the first contraband weapon primary. The permafrost is like a fast-firing burst rifle. It fires faster than the burst rifle, but only does bursts of 2, and does 6 less damage, I think. The permafrost does do a lot of damage, but recently in the update, they nerfed the freezing ability. Oh, by the way, you can freeze with whatever's left in your ammo. When you freeze somebody, they're frozen for however much for a while, but they freeze for less time if there's less ammo in your magazine. But the nerf made it so you can't really do shorty or do shorty backstab, shorty or freeze ray backstab, because they nerfed the damage after they're frozen, so it doesn't really work, which makes the freezing ability kind of useless. This weapon is really good, though, still, so it's going in the great tier. The last primary weapon we're ranking today is the distortion. It shoots out a spread of a couple bullets every time you fire it, and it has 77 ammo. You don't have to reload it, it just has 77 ammo. Once you run out, your distortion is useless. The distortion does do a lot of damage. It can do 35 damage max, I think. And another thing about the distortion, if you click right click or the aim button, you can trap people in a weird vortex thing that traps them, and then they can't move, and then you can just kill them. It's pretty interesting. Here, I think I'll show you. Hold on, once I get to somebody I can... Oop, there. Wait, no, I missed. Hold on, let me try again. You look like a good target. See, they're stuck in there, and then you can shoot them and kill them. Anyways, the distortion is pretty good, so it's going in great tier. Now that's all the primary weapons in the game. Here's a picture of the tier list, and that's it from me. See ya!